Welcome everybody. So here we are at day 2 of New York Comic Con, and as you can see, the people are starting to fill in. The doors have just opened up. It is crazy today. It is twice as packed as it was yesterday. We have a lot of interviews today. We're going to be meeting a lot of people, so stay tuned. A lot of good stuff coming your way. Until then, stay walking. No, I was just telling Amy, I've been tracking you guys before you got Kindred Spirits, and you guys were doing these guest appearances on all these different shows. And I got to tell you, the one thing I love about you guys is when you go into an investigation, it's not you're automatically thinking you're going after a dark entity,
right.
Something dark. And I'm sure you hear that a lot. In a lot of other shows, it's usually something sinister and malevolent. You guys take a completely different approach and have sort of an optimistic approach. What I want to ask you first, though, is how did you two meet and partner up? How long ago was it, and how did you guys start to work together?
Their fault. Ghost Hunters. We met on Ghost Hunters. I think I had been on the show for a couple seasons, and Adam joined up after he won a spin-off show called Ghost Hunters Academy.
I did, and my prize was her because they paired us up together on Ghost Hunters, and it was only supposed to be 6 episodes.
It was only supposed to be 6 episodes.
And here we are. What?
All these years later.
Yeah, and it worked out. I mean, we just had the same sensibilities, and we, investigated the same way. Plus, we were on the road all the time. And,
yeah.
And we like to do the same things, so it helped create that sort of bond. And I think the energy that we're looking for feeds off of our own energy.
Yeah, I mean, we're like family now. I mean,
literally,
we hang out even off camera.
Yeah.
We do things together.
Charlotte, what's my name? Uncle Adam.
Uncle Adam. So like you said, you guys you're always like on the same page, and that's amazing. You guys do an experiment that is unmatched on any other show, and that is your ghost box sessions.
Oh, yes, Spirit Box. Yeah.
Where one gets isolated, and I love that. I mean, I think that's what separates, one of the things that separates Kindred Spirits from a lot of the other paranormal shows, which I love. I'm a big believer. I've never experienced paranormal. I'm a true 100% believer, but I never want to experience it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love watching other people investigate it, and you guys putting your necks out on the line. Who came up with that concept with the ghost box?
So that was actually the invention of some investigators in Colorado, and they have since dubbed it the Estes method, which they did that long after we started doing it on TV, so we can't change the name now on TV. But it was Carl Pfeiffer, Connor Randall, and Michelle Tate. They were 3 investigators at the Stanley Hotel. And we just loved we did it with them a couple times there, and we just loved the idea of taking out any contamination. The way it works is that we've got noise canceling headphones on, we've got a blindfold on, and we're listening to the spirit box, and one of us is just asking questions, and the person listening to the spirit box just says whatever they hear, but they have no idea what the questions are. And when you're just listening to a spirit box, the words coming out, you can kind of almost manipulate them to what you want them to be, But if you have no idea what the questions are, it's fascinating. And so we love that. And we've taken it to a whole different level. We've really, especially this new season, we've done some things.
Yeah.
We've done some things.
We push the boundaries all the time, but it's specifically for that because it's a great technique that we find that we do get a lot of information from and evidence from, but we're like, how can we do this to the 1000th degree? Like, what else can we do with this technique? So for season 6 specifically, there's this one episode where we sort of think outside the box with the Estes method, and it's pretty profound.
It's amazing. The way you guys do it, it's literally you're having a one-on-one with the spirit.
Yes.
That's really the purpose. Like it's one of those things where people investigate ghosts all the time, and they try it and they start doing it, and it's an acquired thing. It's something that takes practice to do, but when people start doing it, they go, "Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing."
We show people a lot when we do events, and we do like group hunts, and we're like group investigations. We'll literally have people try it because they're skeptical of it, as they should be, because they just see us doing it on TV, and we're like, "Here, you do it," and then they're like, "Holy crap, this was amazing!" And And so I think this season we tried a little bit more too of trying to record what we're hearing, like an output on that, but it literally just sounds like static.
Yeah.
So the words, we think there might be like a psychic element to it
Yeah.
too. And so it's the possibilities are endless with it. We love it.
Now we have to talk about another member of the team, and that's Chip.
Yes.
Chip is amazing. He brings that psychic element. How was it during the COVID when he was doing the remote readings?
It's interesting because that's what Chip does. Like Chip does phone readings all the time. Like he is remote reading all the time, and so it was a no-brainer for us. I mean, he could not travel because of the pandemic, and it was a no-brainer for us to have him still involved in the case in some aspect, even if it was a really quick video or a quick conversation, because that is what Chip does. I mean, he's done that for years and years and years, and so to have him thousands of miles away picking up on things that, you know, specifically the really impressive things are the things that we didn't know anything about, and he had no connection to anything, and then all of a sudden we pull out a weird article and find it. Like, those are really awesome, and it's been interesting and fascinating, really.
How did you guys come to meet Chip? How did he become a part of your team?
I met Chip before I was even on TV, so I've known Chip now for over 15 years.
Wow.
Ma'am. I call him ma'am.
Yeah, and so I remember he called me, this is when I lived in California still, and he called me on the phone one day, and we were just having a conversation. We hadn't met in person yet, and he said, you know, Amy, I just feel like I'm supposed to know you. And ever since, we've been really, really close. Like, he's a dear friend. Like, when he spoke at my mom's funeral, like,
Wow.
we're all very, very close.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I met him for the first time at a Mount Washington event, actually. Like, it was in 2010, I think. But it was like we had known each other for years and years and years, and he came to our wedding, and, you know, we miss him. We haven't seen him really. I mean, there is one case he comes out in person for season 6, but we miss him. We want him in the field with us. We want him to be interactive in the space with us, and it's sad when you can't have your friend with you because of the, you know, stupid COVID.
Exactly. It's changed everything. Just for us to be here right now is amazing, and at least we're moving in the right direction. So the paranormal investigation field is obviously getting bigger every day. There are a lot of amateurs wanting to get started. But you guys that have been doing it for years, and with other people that have been doing it for years, it seems like you know each other. Amy, I gotta say, I saw that viral video with you and Amy Allen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Amy Bruni. I'm Amy Allen. I'm Amy Bruni. That was hysterical.
Yes.
I love that. So I know you know Amy Allen, who's an amazing medium as well. How close are you guys off the camera?
I mean, we see each other all the time because we do a lot of events and things, and so it was really strange for the last 2 years to not see all of our paranormal buddies, you know.
Yeah.
But we're all very friendly off camera. I can say there's no one in this field that's on TV on any show that I don't get along with. Like, we all, everyone's very respectful, even when we all have like different methodologies or theories or ideas. Like, I mean, I think it's just a really good message to send, that we all just kind of compare notes and have conversations about it. And so yeah, we all get along.
I mean, when we're in Vegas, we see Zach. Like, it's not like it's not a weird thing. It's like we're all looking for ghosts, right? There are people, no matter who we are, as a family, as like a paranormal family, all of us, right? There's someone out there that thinks we're all crazy. So at least we got that going for us.
Now let me ask you this. You guys that do Kindred Spirits, and then you mentioned Zach Ghost Adventures. Everybody does their thing. How important is it to raise awareness to the paranormal field, that it is out there, it is real? Just because science cannot explain it, it does exist. Be careful on what you do.
I mean, I think what we do is a science. I mean, it's in the early stages of anything. Like, anything you're trying to, any science, anything that's like scientific fact, it had to start somewhere. Right?
Exactly.
So I think what we do is actually, you know, on the same level in the very early
It just
stages.
doesn't follow any
Exactly.
Yeah.
aspect of the scientific method is all.
Yeah, but it's definitely a science, and I think
it's a field of research.
Yeah, which is
Or a
science.
belief system, really. I mean,
Which
it's
is a religion.
Exactly. Well, I would say it's like in science, you come up with a hypothesis,
right, and you study
then you study and prove it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So but what's interesting is like 15 years ago we were saying this, like ghost hunting, you have to be like, all right, to tell your friends that you were interested in ghosts and stuff is weird, right?
Yeah.
But with shows like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and Kindred Spirits, it's like, it's opened people up.
Yeah.
So that people don't have to be afraid to talk about ghosts, and there's a lot of people that are in it, and everybody has to start somewhere investigating.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest message that we always want to send is that we want people to humanize their ghosts. Like, stop going in and
That's
thinking
why
automatically
Kindred Spirit's different.
that it's something dark and scary, because the second you realize, like, that could be any of us one day,
Yeah.
or that could be someone you love. If you're coming at them in a way that's aggressive, or you're saying information that's wrong, you might not get the reaction
Yeah.
as you want. And so I think that as spooky as it is, like, yes, we do get scared still, because it's just kind of like, we're all dealing with death. And,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's like, that could be someone you love. That's someone who someone loves, in theory. And so we try to just talk to and deal with spirits the same way we are talking right now. And I think that's why we get the reactions we do.
Is it just as rewarding at the end of an investigation to help the dead as it is the living?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, because there's so many times where they are clearly very anxious to talk, and they're so excited that someone is listening and not treating them like a novelty or like a sideshow. It becomes like an actual conversation where you can help them in some way.
That's their purpose. It's like you're bridging a gap between the living and the dead, and both sides usually needs help. Like there's something that you do. We're like, it's so stupid. We have no degree in therapy at all. We're like ghost therapists.
People call it.
Yeah, we're like, lay on the couch, ghost, and let's find out what your problems
Exactly.
are.
We did actually this season. We were investigating an asylum, and we actually brought in a psychotherapist to help us, because we were like, if we're dealing with people who had, mental health issues, we're not qualified. We don't know what kind of questions to ask them, and so we actually brought in an actual psychologist to come in and guide us, so we knew how to talk to them.
Last season, you guys were on a ship and you brought a Greek ship that had the tragedy, and you
Yeah.
brought in a Greek.
Translator.
I'm Greek,
Oh.
so I'm like, oh, this should be interesting because I speak fluent Greek. I'm like, let me see, and you brought in that Greek girl, and she did a perfect job. I'm
Amazing. Good. Thank you for telling me.
like, she was spot on.
She was a teenager, and was like so
She was
excited
like
and
my
nervous.
friend's family.
Yeah, she was spot on.
Texted all my friends, like, does anyone know anyone who speaks Greek? And
Like, yeah.
I know thank you for this time. I just want to ask you, how supportive is the Discovery Channel, not only with you guys, but with all the other shows they support?
It's wonderful. I think Discovery Plus is a great platform for us. I think it gave our show and other shows access to millions of people who didn't have cable or only stream. I think we've had more people approach us that have I've finally been able to watch all of your episodes, because we have 5 seasons now, and the 6th season airs December 18th. And so it's a big deal. It's a big deal for us.
So Kindred Spirit, guys, is on the Travel Channel, also Discovery Plus. Season 6 is premiering December 18th. Is it going straight to Discovery Plus, or is it coming on the Travel Channel and Discovery Plus?
Straight to Discovery Plus.
Straight to Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
That's awesome, guys.
Since nobody goes to the movies anymore. I started thinking about it when I was working on Hannibal, the TV show Hannibal, which is a gig that I loved. It was such a great show, and I was so amazed by the process of television and going into the writer's room. It didn't feel like work to me. I was like, wait a minute, we come to a room every day with 7 or 8 other like-minded Hannibal freaks, and we get to talk about Hannibal all day, and we get paid for it? It's like, then I thought, what if we got to do that with Chucky? I just thought the idea of inviting more people, more very talented people into the process, I knew it could elevate our franchise the way Brian Fuller was able to elevate Hannibal. And I was also really excited about having 8 hours of storytelling. Yeah, it's super echoey. It's weird. I was really excited about having 8 hours of story to tell, because that would allow us to focus on character and relationships to a degree that we'd never been able to before, and also would be able to go down different storytelling avenues, such as the origin of Charles Lee Ray, which you guys have been asking
You're
for.
going to see in the future. It's really insane.
You got a taste of it.
Yes, there is more.
So did you guys like the pilot? Yeah? It's the first time we've seen it with people, so.
Yes,
I think it's your first time you saw it at all.
It's my first time I saw it at all. I thought it was fantastic. So why did you decide to focus on teenagers in this iteration of Chucky?
Well, I wanted to bring the franchise back to its child's play roots, and we hadn't focused exclusively or substantially on kids in a while. But having done little kids already, I thought that 14, 15 years old would be super interesting, because people are at a really interesting time in their lives. They're finding themselves, and I just thought introducing Chucky into that mix could be really interesting.
And is it true that the character of Jake is based on experiences you had in high school?
To some degree, yeah. There's a lot more autobiography in the show than I've done before. I mean, as you know, I started injecting kind of LGBTQ content into the franchise, starting with Bride, and that seemed to go well, and so we kept moving forward with that. But I thought that it was a great opportunity to give young gay fans representation and to see themselves on screen in a way that I wasn't able to when I was 14 or 15 years old. And
Hey guys, well here we are from inside New York Comic Con. This is the area where all the guests come and sign autographs. Right now the guests are taking a break, lunch break. We're standing where George Takei from Star Trek would be signing. And as you can see, as we pan left and right, all the guests are in their booths. People will be lining up to get their autographs throughout the whole day today.
What? Amazing. Thank you. What does it do?
It doesn't play that.
Does it get me coffee?
Are we all going to meet together?
Keep going. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just going to put. Is this all?
Yeah.
All of us? Yeah, all of us.
Good.
Shot everybody. Shot.
Thank you. Well, you're here.
Jump on in. It's going to be your shot.
Oh, sweet. We're having everyone come up first.
Everybody get in there so that they can cut off.
Should I
Get in there so that they will see you. This way they can cut off.
Eli, put it on the table.
Get in there.
Get it over there.
We'll put it on the table.
Yes.
We shall hold it. Very well. Wait, hang on.
What?
What? Here, let me put it back.
Let's see. What is it? Nice. Mask. Just figuring out where to put the mask.
Everybody's starting to censor right here at this camera, right here.
Go down? This is really just justification. Profile with the hair, girl. I mean, you gotta do it next to those heels. Yeah. Okay.
It's so stressful that we're all
I love it.
so we have to
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Everyone move in.
Oh.
Thanks.
It's a little easier. What's that? I have selfie with you. I'll come to you now. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, and then, but, all right.
All right. Thank you guys. Thanks.
Yes, we're all spheres. Thank you. Yes. What are you saying?
You're a sexy pilgrim, girl. You're a sexy pilgrim.
Wait, we can't talk about pilgrims anymore. Oh, they're bad.
They
Colonizers.
They are.
I'm not a colonizer.
Okay, who's next? Who wants to go?
Elliot, you're up.
Someone's got to do it.
Very good, Elliot. You can do it.
All right.
Thank you so much. What is it?
Oh, there you go. Add one more right here.
Actually, you know, I don't want to here.
Oh, wait. I want to run off quick.
Should I take a picture like this? Definitely.
Oh, selfie.
No, no.
And right here. And straight ahead one more time.
Not like this.
Yeah, she has.
Is that, I feel like that's the vibe. Okay. Thank you. We'll just like, you ready? You ready? You ready? All right, this way. Thank you. All right, you got this.